finance investigators got confirmation from whistleblowers late Friday that the Treasury Secretary had turned the keys over to the Musk hatchet squad. And here's where we are now. It is clear that unqualified and unaccountable people have seized control of the flow of taxpayer funds and a trove of extremely sensitive data. They are seizing the tools you need for a coup. Their first target out of the gate wasn't anything to do with fraud or waste. It was a religious charity for poor people. If Donald Trump cared about improper payments, he wouldn't have fired the inspectors general. Nobody should fall for that bit of misdirection. Now, a few hours ago, Trump claimed that Musk only looks at payments and doesn't have the authority to shut any down. That's Donald Trump. It's pretty clear, folks, that Musk sees it differently. As Trump and Musk continue targeting Americans they don't like, there's nothing to stop them from cutting off Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid, penalizing cities and states that defy Trump's illegal orders. And a lot of us care deeply, as our constituents do, about privacy. Musk has access to the personal information of hundreds of millions of Americans' bank accounts, tax data, Social Security numbers, home addresses. If people are creeped out, Elon Musk and his hatchet squad having your bank accounts, your home address, Social Security number, Musk Hatchet Brigade has infiltrated a gold mine of data that every foreign spy and every corrupt actor would love to see. It is a prescription for nightmares.
That is Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon doing the most to warn Americans of the dire situation that Donald Trump and his creepy first buddy and fellow psychopath, Elon Musk, have put all of us Americans in. My name is Suri Crowe, and you are watching the MeidasTouch Network. Does anyone else feel like we're living in a real-life Bond movie, but with two Bond villains? Except where is James and Jane Bond? Well, I will tell you at the end of this video, but you got to hang with me. A group of senators and congressional reps are now getting the message that this is a 5-alarm fire and not a minute too soon. Here is more from Senators Wyden and Elizabeth Warren.
Let's remember that Musk reportedly couldn't get a security clearance because of his financial ties to the Chinese government and his other foreign connections. That's the guy, folks, who's now got his hands on the personal data of hundreds of millions of Americans and some unknown number of businesses and groups. Last point, the Trump administration caused chaos in Medicaid and other services that are important to Americans last week when they shut down the primary payment portals to states and social service agencies. These are incompetent people. They don't care about the damage they're doing. And now they may be in charge of the tightrope walk the Treasury has to do to avoid defaulting on out of debt. We're one mistake away from economic catastrophe.
Just want to be clear about what's going on here. The system that makes sure that your granddad gets his Social Security check, the system that makes sure that your mom's doctor gets Medicare payment to cover her medical appointment, and the system that makes sure that you get the tax refund that you're owed has been taken over by Elon Musk. And every organization from your state government that uses federal money on that bridge project to the local Head Start that takes care of little kids while their mommies and daddies go to work is now at the mercy of Elon Musk. Maybe you get paid, or maybe you don't, because now it appears that all of us work for Elon Musk. Elon just grabbed the controls of our whole payment system, demanding the power to turn it on for his friends or turn it off for anyone he doesn't like. One guy deciding who gets paid and who doesn't. It is not the law, but it is the reality.
So it is patently obvious to any of us who are not watching propaganda networks like Fox, OAN, Charlie Kirk, or crazy Alex Jones that Elon Musk, who is a non-elected, foreign-born, openly white supremacist, is now running our government with a band of teenage hackers. In addition to firing the head of the FAA because the man was doing his job and investigating Elon's SpaceX for safety violations, Musk also illegally fired Phyllis Fong, who was the Inspector General of the USDA. She was a 22-year nonpartisan veteran. And Fong, who contested her firing because Trump did not follow legal termination protocols, refused to leave her office. And so Trump had her physically removed from her office to degrade her. But Fong did not obey in advance. Lawsuit coming, likely a successful lawsuit. And bravo to Phyllis Fong for holding her ground. Way to go, way to go. Fong was overseeing investigations into consumer food safety, violations of animal welfare laws, including the spread of the avian flu, which is spreading among cattle and chickens, and as of this recording, has killed at least one person. And here's the kicker. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is responsible for investigating animal welfare at zoos, research labs, etc., which most Americans are completely unaware of. I am, because I did several investigations on animal cruelty at roadside zoos, some of which I won investigative journalism awards for. And Fong was specifically looking into Elon Musk's brain implant startup, Neuralink, for animal abuse allegations. So of course, this monster wanted her gone. The bottom line is that Trump's regime is lawless, doesn't want any checks and balances or oversight, and that is why they are getting rid of career federal prosecutors, career FBI agents, inspectors general, anyone who would say, stop, you are breaking the law. And all of his cabinet picks are enablers and will destroy the very agencies that they are in charge of, which is why it is inexcusable, in my opinion, that any Democrat is voting to confirm Trump's nominations. Here is a list of Democrats in the Senate who have voted for the most of Trump's picks. Pause to read. Here is a list of Senate Democrats who have opposed Trump's cabinet picks, and this is what we should be expecting. Note Senators Patty Murray, Chris Murphy, Elizabeth Warren, to name a few. They are leading the way of how we behave when we are the party of opposition and pro-democracy.
These are incompetent people. They don't care about the damage they're doing. And now they may be in charge of the tightrope walk the Treasury has to do to avoid defaulting on out of debt. We're one mistake away from economic catastrophe.
So here is my wrap up. Where is James Bond? Is Jane Bond? We are he and she. We're the ones we have been waiting for. There are far more of us than this 1% of corrupt criminal hoarders. Take a look at Elon Musk before his multiple plastic surgeries and hormones, etc. The very stuff he wants to take away from everyone else, including his trans daughter. He is an almost trillionaire where no amount of money will ever make him feel secure enough. He and Trump are insecure bullies, weak men, an orange freak and a weird nerd. So we oppose, we obstruct, we tell our representatives that they represent us, and we demand that they do not play footsie with Nazis. Look what the Canadians did and what the Mexicans did. They stood up to these bullies, and we can too. They said, we're not buying your American liquor. We're not going to buy any American products. We're not going to abide by Elon Musk's Starlink contract. They said no, and Trump folded. Paralysis is what authoritarians want. They flood the zone with shit. That is the playbook. Putin is the master of this, so that people feel overwhelmed and helpless. So step away if you must, but then get back in the game. Call your representatives, MAGA or Democrats, and let them know that you are watching them and that you are doing everything you can to put people in Congress who will represent your rights, and that you are talking to friends and family and spreading the word about what they are doing to take away your rights and freedom. Because at the end of the day, these people just want to stay in power, which is pathetic. Yes, I agree, but that's what they want to hold on to. So remind them who votes them in. And lastly, people say they want small government, but do they really? Because the USDA regulates food safety. Do you really want another E. coli or listeria outbreak from your food, like the recent huge outbreak of listeria at a Boar's Head plant in Northern Virginia? You take away the regulators in aviation safety and planes are crashing and falling out of the sky, as we have seen recently. You deregulate banks, your money is no longer guaranteed or safe. We need to be grateful for big government that is accountable and works for us. Because this, what we have right now, is a king and his corrupt court looting our rights and our earned income benefits. It is inexcusable. And lastly, before I sign off, I just want to remind people that when we rise up all together, we do have power. Trump tried to sneak in the turning off of the faucets of trillions of dollars of money last week when he shut off Medicaid, SNAP, WIC, veterans benefits, etc. And people became furious. I was one of them because at that very moment, my cancer surgery was temporarily canceled. So I called my MAGA representative, Jen Kiggins. I called my senators, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner. And I didn't let up, and neither did millions of you. And as a result, there are now 2 federal district judges that said, no, you don't, Donald Trump. You cannot do that. And there is now pending litigation, and he had to back off. And I am happy to say that as of this recording, tomorrow I am going under the knife for my next cancer surgery, and I am excited. But we have to keep the pressure on, and that's how it works. So I will be checking out, but I can't wait to be back here soon. My name is Suri Crowe. You are watching the MeidasTouch Network. I hope to be back here very soon. And while I am gone, please, you guys, keep the pressure up. Do not be weary in well-doing, for in due time, you will reap a harvest of good. Okay? Peace.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.